Hello, 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 everybody. How are you tonight? Welcome to Color and Chat with Joanna. I'm Joanna, and I'm getting ready to do a little kit up. I know that the chug-along starts tomorrow, but I had a little change of heart. I'm going to be a little late to that party because this thing is driving me nuts. I need something bright and happy in my emotional little week that I've had. As many things as I have to be happy about, I'm just not ready to kid up a Chuck. So, I'm doing her. Yes, I am. She is a kind of magic. And so I wanted to get her kitted up because she doesn't look like she's going to take me that long to do. Number one. Number two, I can't resist the colors. I can't. Even if I don't. Oh, hold on. Let me move you back up a little bit right there. Yeah, so she's not like in your face. Which, by the way, I would love to have this girl in my face. I mean, could you imagine going and hanging out with her on a Saturday afternoon at the boardwalk? Oh my God, how much fun would that be? Gonna start laying down relief papers first. I've had these relief papers since I started diamond painting. I'm not kidding. You can use them over and over and over again unless they get like really curmudgeoned, like bent up in the corners and that kind of thing. I spent $5 and look, still in great shape. I know people are using colored ones. I like the white. I don't know why. It's just a personal preference, I think. But I am not able to do the washi tape methodology because this is so much easier for me. I mean, I don't know why. It just is. So everybody should have their own way of doing things. Let's see. First and foremost, how you doing? How you doing? Are you guys okay? Are you good? Are you good? I have had some seriously nostalgic. I'm starting to feel like an old lady because I'm like, remember when we did this? Remember when we went here? And oh my God, we're turning into old people. Like it just sneaks up on you like that. Like you don't even know it's coming. All in all, I have had a tumultuous yet magical week. And I know that sounds weird, but you, my art community, will understand because you guys know. You guys know how life is and how it gets in the way. Let's see. Sunday night, a week ago, I started getting the worst abdominal pain. Now, I have been to the hospital 2 or 3 times with abdominal pain. And they morph me up and do a CAT scan and make sure I'm not losing a gallbladder or something. And then send me back home. And this is how the medical industry is doing it these days. But Sunday night, I got to go. Hold on. Sometimes I can't talk and actually function and think at the same time. Sunday night, I got to go into the ER. Had to hook a ride with EMS. I couldn't walk. And I couldn't even count on John because he was like, oh my God, do we have to go to the hospital? I'm just sitting in my recliner chair crying to Mother. What am I going to do? Help me, help me, help me. And the chair wasn't making it any better. I was trying to rock it out. I thought maybe it was just really bad gas. I mean, I've had situations, and I've known people who have had situations with gas where it is so bad, you really do need to go to the hospital. You just feel like your insides are just going to blow out. Anyway, without getting too graphic, I was in a lot of pain, and I thought, oh my God, this again? Again? You know, I mean, so, had to call EMS, and I got a chick team, and they were so good. They were like on top of me, like, babe, we're going to get you out of here. You know, so they have to put you in a chair because I'm 19 steps up, and then on a stretcher, and I mean, just touching me was like enough to scream it out. I was really losing it. Anyway, but here's what happened. Now, you guys can call it whatever you want, because I'm not a pastor. It's not my job to tell you what to believe in or not. But something very unusual happened. My doctor, Dr. Tyler, who I have bragged about him. I've told you guys about him, that he is the real deal. Like, he's not one of those creepy doctors who just wants a yacht and a condo and doesn't really give a what happens to you. He is the man. Honey, he was there working a rotation that night. And so 12:15 comes along, and he walked in and he said, who the hell is that? That is not my patient. I was yellow, people. My skin turned bright ass freaking yellow. I mean, it was a disaster. I was just like, oh my God. I'm telling you, I have never been in so much pain. I mean, crying like a girl pain, you know, that kind of pain. And I was practically jaundiced. I was completely iron deficient, completely dehydrated, and about to go into shock. And he said, that's not my patient. He said, what's going on, honey? And I was like, I can't. I couldn't even talk to him. And he said, okay. And he went right to the ER doctor, said, I want a CAT scan on her now. I want her medicated now. I know everything about her. I have her whole chart right here on my phone. Because now they have a thing where they can put your whole medical chart literally on an app on your phone. He's got every single one of his patients on an app. So he had everything there. He was my advocate. He was literally an angel among us. And sometimes this stuff happens. You know, it was not just a coincidence. It was not kismet. It was a real live. Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, could I have asked for anything better? I mean, really, I could not have asked for anything better. And he was like, okay, remember that colonoscopy we talked about? And I went, yeah. The thing that I was going to vaguely schedule, and I actually did schedule it, and he was like, I know you did because I'm proud of you that you did that. But we're going to have to move it up a little bit, like tomorrow, like maybe even tonight. And I was like, oh, come on, really? I mean, and he was like, let's get you in a room and let's get you settled and out of pain. So I did wind up going in. So I went in Sunday night. Monday, they decided to do tests. Tuesday, Tuesday came the prep for the colonoscopy. And I'm telling you, I don't care how much you hate somebody. Hold on. They do not deserve that. Oh my God. I feel so violated, kids. I really do. It was definitely not good at all. I wasn't responding well to anything, and but there he was again, working the night shift, and said, let's get her some morphine. So he was sort of like the morphine fairy, believe it or not. He really was my advocate. He really, really saved, and it was great because he was there all week, every night, every night. Like 11, 12 o'clock, here comes Tyler. And he put me with the A team. Now, Dr. Kanafi, oh my God, you guys, I'm going to get you a picture of him. You have to see Dr. Kanafi. Woo! Remember Aladdin? Oh, new. Oh my God. He's so beautiful. And literally under the wraps of morphine, well, I have no filter anyway. Okay, this has been a problem for a long time, and there ain't nothing I can do about it. It's sort of like having, I just am. I'm just that girl. Anyway, he had the most beautiful hair, and I was like, oh, hello, Dr. Kanafi. And he was like, wow, I'm proud of you. You said my name correctly the first time. And I was like, who does your hair? How much money are you spending on this hair? This is the most beautiful hair I've ever seen on a human being, male or female. I'm telling you, this guy could be a model. I was like, and of course I was higher than Cooter Brown. I mean, what number did I just do? 12. Higher than Cooter Brown, but yet, it really was beautiful hair. And when he came to see me the next day, after my night of torment, because they give you the liquid that you drink, and all I could think of was the movie Ghost Town. Now, if you haven't seen this movie, okay, it's kind of old. It's got Ricky Gervais in it and Kristen Wiig, and it's like one of my all-time favorite movies. And he goes in he's a dentist, okay, Ricky Gervais is. And he is the nastiest little creep on the planet. And I mean, he's like every dentist you never want. He's that guy. So, he goes in to have a colonoscopy and he codes on the table. And he codes for like 7 minutes. And when he comes out of it, they don't tell him that he coded because they don't want to get sued. He starts seeing dead people all over New York. And Greg Kinnear is in it. Do you guys love Greg Kinnear? I love Greg Kinnear. I would watch him in anything, any, I don't care. Greg Kinnear is a dead guy who wants him to do a favor for him. But Ricky Gervais is like, no, I'm having some kind of hallucinations. So he goes back to the hospital and he's asking Kristen Wiig, did anything happen to me? I am having some kind of hallucinations. And she's like, well, what? No, well, I mean, yeah, let's wait till the administrator comes. And he's like, wait for the administrator? Do you know how bad I'm going to sue you people? Anyway, so it's just a funny movie, and it had a lot to do with my colonoscopy. Anyway, I was like, oh my God. I'm gonna die on the table. And then I had like a total panic attack over the anesthesia. Went into my Jennifer Hollister mood and told the anesthesiologist, you're so wonderful. I'm gonna bake you a pie, dumbass. Yeah, I called him a dumbass. And then I went out cold. He was like, okay, she's out. But here's the thing, John, Mr. Left Brain. Remember, Mr. Left Brain who can build an airplane with a paperclip, but don't ask him for anything really, really sophisticated like socks. He brings me these horrible red and green socks. So I'm going down to surgery wearing my Burberry glasses because it is so bright that when you're moving really fast on a gurney and the bright lights, I get a little, it's almost like getting car sick. So I had to have my sunglasses on and I was like, okay, let's do this thing. And I had Boris the nurse. This guy is from Macedonia. He looks like the guy from the Rocky movie, the Russian, but he's not Russian. He's from Macedonia. Anyway, Macedonia is south of Ukraine, just in case you go up. I mean, I had to look it up. I was like, where the hell is Macedonia? I'm pretty good at geography, but Macedonia took me a minute. Anyway, he was so funny. He was like, now listen, when you go in there, tell them to do the top part first, because they were doing an echo on my throat and a laparoscopy on the bottom. So I was getting hit from both ends. And I was really scared and crying. And I said, I'm gonna go home. I can't do this. I'm sorry. I can't do this. Can we reschedule it for next week? Because they had to reschedule it for the next day, which is why I was in there 4 days for something that should have been an in and out procedure, But he said, no, before you go, I tell them you do the top part first because they might use the same tools. And I covered my face and started kicking like a child. laughing so hard I was crying. I was like, you are so disgusting, Boris. And I needed a salty guy like Boris. He got me through it, and he took great care of me. I was spoiled rotten. Everyone is saying, you know, hospitals are just horrible right now and that they're shorthanded. Not me. Not me. I have many pies to bake. Everybody in the surgical bay, they had 30 surgical bays. It's a brand new hospital. It's only a year old. So I thought, oh great. It's either going to be a really good hospital or a total nightmare. And I was so lucky. For everyone who sent me congratulatory birthday wishes. Yes, all this happened on my birthday too. So, there was just no getting out of it. It was one of those. Remember that birthday when I got my ass violated and my throat violated at the same time? Yeah, she's going to be one for the books. And then they gave me pictures, and which you don't want to ever. Don't look at those pictures. Not now, not ever. I mean it. Don't look at them because you'll never eat an escargot again. Not in your whole life. Ever, ever, ever. It ain't going to happen. You'll die. Anyway. So that is the long, what do you say, long story short? I know people say short story long, but I don't think I know how to tell a short story. So I am well. I am cancer free. I have pictures to prove it. Next week I'll put on my pretty dress and John will get me flowers and we'll go to dinner and do it all. But for right now, I just want everything to get back to normal. If you know what I mean. And, they made every colonoscopy joke they could. There was no way out. Every freaking joke about colonoscopy that could be made was made at my expense. They were even, my husband, Mr. Adorable, if you think he's long suffering now, wait till I get a hold of him. He was actually looking them up on the internet because he ran out of jokes. So, him and Boris teamed up like Boris and Natasha or something. And, they would not shut up for 1 minute. Okay, I am going to let you guys go because, I'm capable of talking all night. And I'm like, this is the easiest thing to kid up I've ever done, I swear. And I love kidding up, but talking and kidding up is usually my excuse for making mistakes. You're important to me, so be important to you. And I know you're important to me because I missed you guys so much. I miss the camaraderie and the conversations and the comments and everything. And I just want you all to know that you're a lot more important to me than you think you are. I know that there are UB2B people out there who are just like, people come, people go. No, they don't. No, they don't. They're real people with real issues, real hurtings. And some of you are out there hurting right now. And I just want to send you the biggest hug, the biggest love, a hug and a cookie, you know, which, by the way, those gangsters outside the Walmart got a hold of me today, and they're like Thin Mint mobsters. I mean, you cannot say no. You cannot say no to the Thin Mints, or you're just like the devil. So I had to buy Thin Mints, but I'm being very, very careful with my diet right now because everything's got to kind of reset, if you know what I mean. Thank you again. You're important to me. Be important to you. And shine on. And now that I have finished, I just did 2 back-to-back diamond paintings, and I could not do WIP and Chats with them because they are a gift. And as soon as that gift arrives, I'll be able to reveal what they were. Now I can do her, and she's not going to be a present to anybody but me. Because I just dig her. Oh my God. She's like the coolest little hippie mermaid girl. I dig her. I love doing the unboxing. I cannot wait to get to the fancy pantsy drills. And I think I'm going to whip it out in no time. Anyway, have a good night, and I will see you in my next upload. Take care, guys. Love you. Oh, Laura, I just watched a live with Laura. If you have not watched her, let me give her a shout out. Laura is Anxiety Art Adventures, and Laura is from Virginia. So Laura calls everybody Shug. I love that she got, look at this. I know. Look, I look like I've been eaten by dogs. No, that's all. This is the new girl. I was like, give me the damn needle. I'll do my own IV. Thank you. But what are you going to do? People have to learn. They have to learn on your body sometimes. Anyway, Laura was talking about cats tonight, and she cracked me up so bad. She was saying that when cats are kittens, they don't have any control over their bowel movements, which is true. Because when I worked with the big cats, we used to have to take them out every 2.5 hours, or I would put like a little, pee pad out, depending on the weather, and take a little tiny Q-tip and dip it in cold water and put it right inside their little tiny butt to make them poop and pee. Because when cats or kittens, they're blind, they're deaf, they don't know how to go to the bathroom. So when you're scratching a cat and he does that little humpy thing, you're really kind of getting him in a mood to go take a nice long poop. And she's right about that. And I wanted her to know that we actually had to do that. Now, I had 2 tigers once that were in a fight. They were both up on their hind legs. They were in it. I mean, in it. I was like, oh, shit. Sometimes I could take like a really bright yellow mop stick. We had them around, and I would bang it on the cage, and they would, because it's not really a cage. It was like a big open paddock enclosure, but you still have to have a fence between you and him because they're tigers. Anyway, these 2 got into it, and they wouldn't break it up. They were like in it for the kill. And I ran in the cage and I took my thumb. Now, this is about 20 years ago. Okay. And I did this for 5.5 years where I worked hand in hand with the cats. The best, sweetest moment of my life. Oh my God. It's a wonderful job and a terrible job because it has its downsides too. Back then, you had to pay $30 or $40 to get a manicure, and I just got this beautiful manicure because it was February and it was going to be my birthday, and I always had to have birthdays for David because my son and I have exactly the same birthday. I had to stick my thumb up that tiger's ass. This is how you break up a cat fight. If they don't listen to you and the water bottle doesn't work, just take your thumb and stick it right up his ass. So I had to take my thumb and put it up that tiger's ass, which spooked him and went, I thought it was going to turn on me for a minute, but basically they just forgot what they were fighting about, and he took off and ran away and got up in his paddock, and jumped on top of the paddock and was like, everything was fine. But yeah, everything she was saying was true. So, if you really want your cat to go poop, scratch his butt, because sometimes they get a little constipated too. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. I hope it didn't gross you out. Love you and shine the hell on. And I will talk to you in my next video. Bye.